For the past few years, it has been the talk of the town, specifically the downtown. Vacant storefronts with their for-lease signs and unused square footage dotting the landscape up and down State Street. As a result, it's generating new conversations and ideas among business leaders, landlords, and city officials. The result is a relatively new concept called PopUps, and they're beginning to pop up as a welcomed opportunity for local entrepreneurs. This welcomed new tune downtown has entrepreneurs, landlords, business leaders, and City of Santa Barbara officials singing the praises of the pop-up movement.
I think it's really exciting. I think it's kind of almost the new way forward. It's a chance to try things. It's a chance to be creative.
At 1019 State Street, that creativity is in full view. A 2,800 square foot business, once vacant for months, is now a gallery for 23 local artists.
We thought we could try this for 30 days or even 2 months.
It has been a long-term dream for many of these artists to show their oils, mosaics, and acrylics on State Street, but rents have always been too expensive. Their search for affordability led them to commercial broker Mitch Stark.
I went to the landlord and said, okay, I'll do it. Okay. And that's about 50 to 75% below market what he ended up doing at. He was a tremendous landlord to be able to do that, to help reinvigorate our street. The energy here tonight is unbelievable.
Energy is exactly what the pop-up idea is meant to generate. Fill the space, generate foot traffic, bring a little more life downtown.
What we're doing is introducing entrepreneurs and established businesses who are looking at their next opportunity with property owners and brokers who have vacant space.
The City of Santa Barbara is playing an active role in the effort to bring entrepreneurs and landlords together to make this pop-up idea happen.
The city is encouraging all our stakeholders to come together and help fill our vacant spaces. These spaces are opportunities for businesses to get started.
At a workshop in mid-September, there was no shortage of existing business owners and entrepreneurs entertaining the pop-up idea. Paul Vacular pitched Project Sandbox, an experimental interactive venue for kids using LED walls and projection equipment to simulate many experiences, including oceans and space.
Anytime is something new, it's a little harder to establish, but once established, it can have very good success.
Monica Dabos wants to expand her alcohol-free social establishment called Yes Dance to other sober endeavors. Joan Mayer has 2 business locations already, but would like to be on State Street. To do so, she would need an initial rent cut or possibly pay the landlord a percentage of sales.
Initially, just to see if the business would thrive in the area. So it's almost like a test to see, and then it's getting off the ground and seeing if the business grew, then we could afford more rent.
And while some may need a large space, most of those interested locating on State Street want to share a building with other entrepreneurs.
We couldn't deal with an entire retail space on our own. We're a pretty small team, so that was really what I was interested here, and it sounds like there's going to be some follow-up that's going to look a little bit more at collaboration and how that might work, so we'll definitely stay tuned.
The pop-up concept is simple. The tenant signs a short-term agreement, maybe 2 months. There is an option to extend if the landlord agrees. The tenant initially pays less rent or a percentage of sales, providing them a chance to build the business. To expedite the process and get the storefronts filled, tenants are encouraged to follow a few ground rules. No improvements to the building itself, including walls, plumbing, or flooring, which is actually a cost savings. The City of Santa Barbara has also paved the way for pop-ups to save time and money, creating a window sign. A 4 square foot pre-approved template is available so businesses can steer clear of permits.
We're encouraging entrepreneurs to get started in vacant spaces without improving the space. Don't change the plumbing, don't knock out a wall. That means you don't need a building permit.
And for the landlords, they get a revitalized space, an income stream, and they can continue looking for a long-term tenant. Dan Farrick says the pop-ups are also a great marketing tool for landlords.
If somebody comes in and sees a vacant, dark, dank space, maybe they'll be like, I don't know if that space is for me. But if there's like commerce happening and lots of people buying stuff and fun and energy and noise, maybe that next tenant comes in and goes, well, that's a space I want to rent. A lot of our members are on the wall.
Farrick is co-founder and CEO of Impact Hub, a collaborative space for small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofits.
What's going on State Street is I think a lot of the national companies are leaving, the big retailers, and it's leaving a big hole. Why the pop-up is so important is it gives these smaller businesses an identity on State Street that they wouldn't normally have had in a collaborative environment.
Just up the street where Pete's Coffee moved out, what's now called Mosaic, Farrick brokered a joint venture with 4 different vendors, using one space at different times throughout the business day. The merger includes Hook and Press Donuts, Buena Onda serving empanadas, Juice Ranch selling pressed juices, and Draftsman Ale Works serving up a variety of craft beers. Mosaic has set an example of how a collaborative pop-up can work.
I don't want to own a restaurant. I don't want to make or serve food. None of my partners do. We want them to make good beer. Matthias wants to make the best empanadas he can. He does not want to fool around with alcohol. And John wants to make donuts. So we put all those 3 together and we have a great combination that we all focus on what we do best, and it elevates us all.
We're starting to break down bridges so that we all can be on the same team and move forward as Santa Barbara instead of landlord versus tenant.
Prospective tenants and landlord brokers went face-to-face at a workshop in September. Entrepreneurs pitched their business ideas and square footage needs. Marissa and Scott Sorochek opened their contemporary women's and children's boutique on the 700 block of State Street just 6 weeks after that speed dating workshop. The landlord, SEMA Corporation, took care of all the tenant improvements and met them more than halfway on the 3-month lease.
The fact that we had already established, 3 stores that were very profitable in the Bay Area, and that we had talked to them about, we want to be part of this revitalization project. We give a lot of credit to the city for opening its arms to people that are outside of the region. We had made it clear that we were not only interested in this place for short term, but that we were interested long term.
Nikki Parr says the landlords are looking for pop-ups that have a chance to succeed.
The landlords and the property agents really have to be mindful of what will work on State Street and in downtown area, and kind of be part of the vision of what we want to be bringing back to State Street and the experiences that we want to be offering to the consumers and the visitors.
At Plum Goods on the 900 block of State Street, owner Amy Cooper loves the pop-up idea and hopes one fills the space next door.
Since the 8 years that I've been here, the increased vacancy rate has lowered the foot traffic on State Street year over year over year. So we're at our lowest rate of foot traffic walking up and down the street. If it's empty, it's a little intimidating or it doesn't look that exciting, but even if it's just a temporary pop-up, then some stronger, longer-term retailer could come and say this looks really appealing. So I think it's just great for all of us.
The pop-up is a new concept and, as importantly, represents a new business culture. Although this idea is new to Santa Barbara and State Street, there is cautious optimism that the idea will take root.
State Street has stayed stagnant for too long. And the younger population, known as the millennials, they want to go and be a part of something new and exciting and different. So what we need to do, with the city's help and the artists' help, is to make State Street new again.
I think it's a movement for revitalizing State Street and giving the small business owner and people that are interested the opportunity to come in with a lower lease, make the profits, and then continue with the permanent lease.
This is really a great opportunity for our local businesses to show their entrepreneurial spirit and creative flourishes and bring more of a local feel back to downtown.